guys, welcome back to my car. I'm on my way home, road tripping it after a long weekend. I took some time off. I really needed a long, restful weekend. As you could tell by the last few vlogs that I've uploaded, it's just been a crazy busy summer season. I'm really excited because I'm refocused after this good break and opportunity to rest. I had a good conversation with my husband over the weekend about how I need more help from him because I work the full-time job. He homeschools our son, and he's a full-time stay-at-home dad. He takes care of our cars and our houses. He does most all of the home housework. I do my own laundry, but he cooks. He does all the dishes, the laundry, mows the lawns, changes the oil. But in the summertime, because I'm doing my art business on top of my very busy full-time job, I found last summer was really busy, but I thought it was just because I overbooked myself for art shows, so I cut back this summer. But it didn't really help, as I found out. Like, I wore myself down and I wound up giving up on going to the gym. It's been like, I slowly, gradually, finally just said, okay, I can't do this. And it's been like 3 weeks since I've been to the gym. I was just too worn out. So I talked to my husband over the weekend, particularly about summer, asking for his input on what we can do differently next summer and whether or not we should change things up and have him go back to work full-time and me either work just part-time or be the full-time stay-at-home mom, or what we could do to change things up. And it's because it's a really difficult decision. We have the blessing or the good fortune of not having little children anymore, which I think makes it harder to change things up like that. We don't have to worry too much about childcare, even though our younger son does need a parent at home to kind of help him because he's not independent yet. He doesn't drive or anything like that. And his homeschooling, though, he really takes charge of, and he's really good at being independent and self-sufficient and self-directed education. So neither my husband nor I is worried at all about our 14-year-old. He's very, very capable. But what's happening is I am finding that I can't keep doing what I've always done because something loses. And in the last month or so, it's been my fitness, my outdoor time, and my time with my son. Is a lot, and it's really hard to stay on top of all of that stuff. It is very, very financially difficult to be a one-income home. I am a vocal processor. I cannot figure out how I feel about something, no matter how long I think about it, unless I write it down or talk to somebody about it. I have had several instances in the past several months where I have felt completely overwhelmed and was at the cusp of what I guess I would call a breaking point when I finally verbalized how I was feeling to someone. And once I verbally processed it, clarity came to me. But it came from childhood, being raised by a dad that was very controlling and always urged me to do what he thought was right. And I became this adult who couldn't even function in a workplace without calling him to ask him what he thought I should do. And I always did what Dad thought I should do because I wasn't comfortable and never was able to make decisions on my own or have critical thinking or process my feelings about anything in order to come to a decision. And what I'm learning is, wow, I am very capable of critical thinking through the pros and cons and taking on a very logical, rational, calm thought process. And that's been odd for me. And over the weekend, I had the same situation, something that's been weighing very heavily on me, being very busy and not being able to keep up with it all and wondering if I should quit my job, if he should be going to work full-time, if I should be working part-time, if he should be working part-time. Like, something needs to give by next summer. Now, we're done with this summer, but in order to prepare for next summer, the one thing we do have is time. But we need to start planning now if we're going to change the situation that we've had in our household for years now. There's a couple problems with that. Number one, the cars can't get taken care of like they get taken care of right now. Number two, the houses can't get taken care of like they get taken care of right now. Number three, he's very confident because he's been out of the workforce for so long that he would not be able to find a job that pays as well as mine does and that has the benefits that mine does. And all three of those things are big factors. But, and I told him, I said, I don't know how I feel, or like in terms of what I want. I just feel like I'm still losing because I don't have enough energy to do it all. And he was listening to me, not knowing what the solution was, being concerned about changing up the good situation we have. I did discover, after verbally processing all of my concerns about how hard summer is for me and how much work and stress I carry, I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning with a resolution, multiple resolutions. And when I talked to him about my resolutions, he was totally on board with them. And it involves my husband picking up a lot more of the slack. And what I mean by that is cleaning more. Here's the thing, my husband cooks all the time. And he's phenomenal at cooking. He does the dishes all the time. But what he's not good at is recognizing when the bathroom needs to be scrubbed. The other thing is, over summer, he gets very overzealous about his gardening. And this year, he, instead of doing a traditional garden or raised beds or anything, which is what he's done in the past, he decided to do hydroponics. Now, because he's gone quite a bit in the summer with my younger son, this means that I get stuck with caring for his projects, which is not fair to me because it requires a lot of work. And I had to mow the lawn, which I don't mind mowing the lawn because we now have a self-powered electric mower and we have a very small lawn. So to me, it's like good exercise and it's very easy to do. It's not a lot of work on my part. So I don't mind mowing the lawn, but caring for his hydroponics makes me crazy. It absolutely makes me batshit crazy. And I'm sorry if that sounds selfish and rude. I told him that I don't mind him asking me for help or picking up the slack myself sometimes, but he's the full-time stay-at-home dad and he has got to take care of most of this crap. He really does. It's not fair to me for him to make a decision about big projects or things he wants to take on or big hobbies or whatever when he doesn't consult with me and then I wind up having to take care of it. Like, baking bread is just another example. He refuses to buy bread, so he bakes bread. But then half the time when I want something to eat, we don't have bread. He has to bake it, so I have to wait another day. So if I feel like having tuna sandwiches for work, I can't make it if he hasn't made bread. And things like that. But I'm also not good at communicating to him my needs. I'm not good at communicating when I need help. I'm not good at being honest because I'm scared of him getting upset, him being disappointed in me because I'm not handling it. This came up in my work review recently. I don't remember if I vlogged about it or not, but I should if I haven't yet. But there are a few things that I need to work on. One of my big weaknesses is I'm not good at asking for help. This comes from my upbringing as well. My boss told me at the beginning of summer, she said, you know, you're taking on a lot this summer. There's a lot to get done. Let me know how I can help. And did I ever let her know how she could help? No, I didn't. But at the same time, it wasn't because I didn't want her to help. It wasn't because there was no help for her to contribute to. The reason why I never asked for help from her is because I never had time to think about what it was that she could help me with. And I got to the point this summer where I began blaming my employer and my bosses for overworking me or saddling me with so much work, when my boss originally, she had told me, let me know what I can help you with. But the thing is, I'm gonna outperform and prove to everybody that I'm worthy, right? Bottom line is, I'm not good at asking for help. And so I was thinking about that when I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, the light bulb came on, and I was like, sorry, my navigator keeps kicking on, so I keep getting interrupted. But I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, like I told you earlier, and it was like a light bulb was on over my head. I was like, why in the world would my husband and I switch up our current situation for a different situation and all the unknowns and unexpected, when I have a very good job with excellent benefits, and I really like the people I work with, and I actually like what I do. It's interesting to me that this did not occur to me before. Logic kicked in, and I was kind of like, all I really need to do is ask for help. If my husband helped out just a little bit more, then I bet that my life would be a lot easier. Number one, he could do better at meal planning. I hate grocery shopping, and he knows it. He flies by the seat of the pants when it comes to meal planning, and he's always asking me what I'm in the mood for, instead of just saying at the beginning of the week, this is what I'm planning on. Does that meet your needs for your health journey that you're on? And does that sound good to you? You know, and not saddling me. What he does is what sounds good. What sounds good to you this week? And it's like, I don't know. Anything and everything you make is good. But then when it comes time for me to pack my lunch for work, there's nothing for me to make. We don't have tuna. We don't have bread. We don't have lettuce for salads. We don't have soup. We don't have cheese, or whatever it is that I need to make my lunch. It's not available. I was thinking, why don't I ask him to make me lunches? Why don't I ask him to prepare breakfast for me? I've always told my husband, and this is funny because I don't want you to laugh about this, but my husband hates mornings. He always has. He's just like his mom. I'm a morning person naturally, but my husband cannot stand mornings. He likes to get up on his own, but he also doesn't sleep all day. He doesn't sleep till noon. He gets up usually around 9:30 in the morning, sometimes 10 if he's had a late night, which I don't think is unreasonable for a, whoops, camera slipping, sorry about that. But what occurred to me is that if he put a little bit more effort into making my breakfast and preparing it for me, preparing the coffee pot for me so I don't have to make coffee and I don't have to pack lunch, preparing dinners for me that I can pack then for the next day's lunch. And I also hammered home to him, I don't want a 5-course meal for dinner. And I told him when I go to art shows in the summer, I said I would like him to make sure that my car is loaded up. I would like him to make sure that he's there at the end of the art show to help me pack everything up and load my car back up. I'd like him to pack me lunches and drinks for the art show. I'd like him to pack a little cooler for me. I mean, there's little things that, I have to do my own bookkeeping for my art business too. So it's not just like the actual physical work and the actual physical creating of the art and all that other stuff. There's the brain work too. There's marketing, there's social media posts, there's bookkeeping to do. There's just so much work involved in having your own business. That's taking more stress off my plate. Just little things like that. Otherwise, in my mind, throughout the course of a week, I'm mentally planning and preparing for the weekend ahead. And I'm like, oh, I got to make sure I pack lunch. I got to make sure I have my chairs. I got to make sure I have this. I got to make sure I have that. And so all of this to say, I haven't been asking him for help for a very long time. I would say years. There's been very little that I've asked of him. For the most part, my husband and I are like best friends living together. There's not a whole lot that we ask of each other. We're a pretty good team. But because we don't ask a lot of each other, a lot of our needs go unmet, which can cause a problem. And I've learned that my failure to speak up, meanwhile, I'm also overworking myself and having unreasonable expectations for myself, and resentment is building inside of me because I'm not asking him for the help that I need. I need to be more honest and ask him for help, just like I need to be more honest at work and ask for help when needed at work. I can't be the only one who struggles asking for help, whether it be at work or with my partner. It's one of those things that is very hard to do if you come from a past or a childhood where you did not feel safe. You did not feel like you had the right to ask for help or to have your needs expressed. I hope you guys have gleaned something from this vlog. This was a topic that I've been wanting to talk to you about for a while. I don't have that much further to go, probably another half hour or so and I'll be home. I'm starting to get hungry, so I'm probably going to stop and get some food here. I hope you guys take care of yourselves. Chime in with any questions or anything that you want to hear more about or talk about. All right, guys, till next time.